Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to continue on with the middle and the upper portions of the foremast, right? We're going to get all the holes drilled, we're going to get the blocks tied, we're going to get things stained and painted, and yeah, we're going to see how far we get and go from there. So if you want to see that and more, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSCFamily and welcome back to my bench. So today we're going to continue on with the foremast. We're going to get the lower and the upper ready to go. We're going to get them stained. I get a few holes to drill, right? Got a few holes to drill. I got to make up a dead eye. I got a couple eye hooks that need to be cut, and there's a hole here and a hole up here. Get all these little pieces glued on, and yeah, we'll get it together. Now I need to figure out as well if I'm painting any part of this red. I'm thinking probably not, because yeah, well, I don't know. See, on the lower portion of the mast with the crow's nest, this piece is on the bottom of the crow's nest, right? And I've got it black, but here it goes here on the crow's nest. Well, not a crow's nest, but it goes here, right? Technically this should be black to match the crow's nest one, but I may paint this one red just to kind of break up the black masts, right? Because the masts are black and the medallion piece here is black. Yeah. There's nothing that goes on top of it. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll probably paint this black, or paint this red. And yeah. If I don't like it, I can always paint it black, right? So, yeah, building this ship, Flying Dutchman from OcCre. Go check out their link down below if you're interested in this ship or any other ships that they may have. They have all kinds of tools, kits, lighting, paints, you know, like they have all kinds of stuff, right? Like all their dyes and satin varnishes, all that stuff. So go check them out. Thanks, big thanks to OcCre for sending me this one to build for you guys. Also, don't forget, hit that subscribe button for me, hit that like button, definitely please share out these videos, help other people view these videos, help me get my views up, and yeah, just tell your friends, your family, share the videos, hit that subscribe thing, and the like button for me, and yeah, so let's get to it. So I'm going, first things first is, yeah, I'm going to temporarily fit this piece on so that I can glue these on. I'm going to reshape these a little bit, get that measured out on these, on this thing, and get them glued in. I'm going to glue on this pinnacle ball at the top as well, and then we're going to stain all of this black and paint this red. So give me a few minutes, I'll come back and I'll show you where I'm at. We'll get a few things put together. Okay everybody, so I got lots done. You know when you get into that that little rhythm and you kind of put everything else aside and you forget about everything that's going on and what you need to do? Well, it was kind of me, and I know I said I was going to stain a few things, come back, show you, you know, stuff and this and that. Well, I kind of kept right on going. So here is the masts. Everything is stained black. There is a little bit of paint, but it's mainly black stain, and the top half has been done, right? The middle section is done. The support brace here is done and ready to, oh, it's already installed, and the little medallion piece is already on, the skull piece, right? I did narrow up these little pieces up here that I said I was going to do, right? Those are narrowed up, as you can see, kind of right there, right? Those are narrowed up, glued on, the lowers are glued on. Now the dead eye is on, all the blocks and the eye is glued in there and done up. All the upper ones are done, right? Okay, and the little ball on the top is done. My holes, I just re-drilled them where they needed to be, and everything is all glued together. All right, now on top of that, again, just kind of got into that rhythm. All the yards for this mast. Here is the topsail yard, right? And it is completely built up and ready to go, right? It's all painted and all that stuff with the blocks on it. And then the mid yard is all got all its blocks on it, right? And its rollers, right? Everything is on, ready to go. Let's see what else. Now I'm working on the foremain, the foremain mast. It's the mainsail of the foremast. All right, so the yard is all painted, ready to go, and I've been working on the blocks for it, and I've got the rollers done up for it. All right. So as you can see there, those are the rollers, right? The metal parts and everything. So that's all ready to go. And like I said, I'm working on the blocks. I had to dye some more. So I've got some more blocks done. I've got more dead eyes done. And I've got, I'm not sure what you call these ones, but I've got more done, ready for more yards to do. And I've already got a bunch tied up, but I ran out of my blocks, so I had to dye some more. So I'll use my little helping hand here. You know, I'll put a block in, right, making sure it's facing the right direction. Put that in. Then I've got my, I think this is what, 0.15. Sent by OcCre. It's the thread that comes with the ship, right? So I'll just take this, I'll wrap this in. I need my other eyeballs on though, because I'm getting too old for this, or at least the eyes are getting too old for this. So anyway, so I'll take that, I'll tie this in like so. Make sure it's sitting where it needs to. I'll give it a little snug there. Give it just a light dab of CA glue. Alright. Give it an extra tug. And then I'll give it a second knotting. Like so. Make sure that's tight. Give it just a little extra just to make sure that one's locked in. All right. Make sure my line is centered. Yep. Trim off the excess. All right. And then I'll leave, leave myself some tying room. Cut it off. And there you go. There's another one. All right. Another one ready to go. All right. Simple, easy, and time consuming. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up marking out this yard, right? So I'll mark out with a pencil. I think I've done a couple marks already. Yeah. So yeah, I've done this line, marked out that one. I marked out this block here. This one's easy enough. This one and this one. And then when you're going to do this, figure it out, because here, as you can see, there is a block right here. That's this pear-shaped one, right? And if you look, it's this way. So when I do this, I'll make sure that this one's on this side, this way, that one, and again, those sides, right? But then you're going to take it and you're going to rotate it up. So this bead section right here will point upwards, right? So you're going to rotate it 90 degrees, right? Making this block facing outwards, right? Then I'll tie that. I'll mark all of those ones in. Mark that one, and these 6, and of course this one. Tie them on, so then all your blocks are sitting the right way when you go to install it on the mast. So I'm going to do up this one, and then when I'm done with that, I'm going to glue this yard mast and everything in. All right, I'll glue this mast in, and then we'll start installing the yards. This one here, well, that's on the lower one, but this one, that's going to face that way. So yeah, this one will end up right about here somewhere, right? And then this one will end up here, up on the top. And then this one again will be down on the lower section of the mast, right? So I'm going to do up this one, and then, like I said, I'll get this glued on. Then I'll come back. I'll show you how I tie one on, and then I'll end up doing the rest and probably call it quits after that until the main mast. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll come back. I'll show you where I'm at. Hopefully I don't go too much further again. But anyways, yeah, that's how it's looking. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Please share out these videos. Follow me on my Instagram, Facebook group, and again, thanks to OcCre for sending me this. If you're looking for a ship, tools, materials, things like that, go check out the link below and see what OcCre has for you. So I shall be back in a few. Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're going to close out this video. I'm going to show you what I've gotten done, and yeah, I did it once again. I just got too involved with it and kept right on going. So as you can see here though, this is the main mast, right? Now I'll talk about this more in the next video, but it is coming along. And instead of just rounding the top of this one, I did do the taper on it, but I squared off the top, right? You can see that I squared it off to make it fit down in here. And once again, I did not use those metal ones. I didn't like them, so I just remade some more that I did on the Foremast. And yeah, I put all this one together. I put my side blocks on, right? But again, I'll talk more about that one in the next video as we do the main mast. So we're going to jump over to the other camera, and I'm going to show you how I put the masts on and show you what I did to get them into the right place and a few other things. So as you can see here, I'm holding up a piece of whiteboard here for you so you can see better. Probably have to move it back just a little. There we go. So the yards are done and built. Now it's going to be hard to see, but the lower yard has 2 ropes, right? You probably can't see nothing here. I'll see if I can move it closer for you. Okay, more light wasn't the answer, but anyways, let's see if I got a small pointer here, something you'll see a bit. But anyways, the lower yard, right? As you can see here, there are 2 lines, right? that have beads, and there are some metal parts that go in here for the lower yard, right? Now I do believe I showed you that last time, but yeah, there's a metal piece and a bead, metal piece and bead, you know, but there's 2 rows of it, right? And that is on the front side of the mast, right? Now, I didn't want to glue or pin anything of mine, right? So I got some of the rigging here done. Now, there are 2 lines, one here and one here, right? As you can see them, right? They go through 2 of the holes. There's 4 holes that you got to drill in this lower mast, right? And they go through 2 of the upper holes, right? And they tie onto the mast on this side here, right? So they tie onto it so that the yard can actually go up and down. And then they don't show you, or I should say they do show you, but they show you, let me tilt you down here for a second. Now, those 2 lines that I showed you, this one here and this one here, they say to tie down here on the 2 outside belay pins, okay? Now, I didn't think that, we look back up here a little bit, I didn't think that these 2 lines should come down, rub against here, and go forwards of the mast. So, for now, what I've got is I've got them tied off to the railing over here. All right, I just went to the 2 outside parts of the railing, not to the belay pin for now anyways, until I kind of figure out where more stuff goes. All right, so those 2 are your halyard lines for your lowest mast. Now if we go up further, right, I'm trying to show you, but the white and stuff doesn't like, kind of blacks things out. But anyways, let's see if I can just bring this up higher. Sorry for all the camera movements and stuff here. Trying to get it so that you can see what I'm talking about. But anyways, now in hindsight, if I would have known, I would have left out a couple beads because I find them way too loose, okay? I would have tightened up, left a couple out and then tightened it up a little more. But in this middle section of the mast, right, there is a 1 millimeter hole that needs to be drilled, and that would be for this line, right? And again, I didn't want to glue any of this down. I wanted it free, so I had to install this. Now, this is where things get tricky when you're doing this type of rigging. I find there's not enough information on where all this stuff goes, and I think it's, yeah, this one's fine. So this one has a block on the end, which you can't see. Okay, this one has a block on the end, right? Goes through that 1 millimeter hole and ties off to your yard. Now this next line right here, right? If I bring you back down some more, I'll probably have to back it up a little bit here for you. Okay, so now you have a block at this end, right? It comes up, goes through this block, and then it only tells you that it goes down. It does not tell you anywhere in the instructions where it has to go. Now, again, all I did was just decide where I'm going to put it. So where I put it was I tied it to the railing, again temporarily until I kind of figure out where everything goes, but I think this end's going to stay there, right? And we'll leave it at that. And then you have your next one, right? That'll go down to your deck pulley here, or railing pulley that we previously installed. So it ties at the top of the block, goes down through this block, comes back up through this block and back down to a belay pin down below, which you can see on this side. You can see there's a line here as well, same thing, right? I got it to the first pin, belay pin. I have not made the hanks for them yet, but I just got it temporarily put there. and everything is loose to the point that I can adjust everything as I go. So I can actually pull on this line if I want and tighten everything up or loosen things up or whatever I want. Okay, so these aren't completely in final position, but like I said, I didn't want my yards to be glued in or pinned in, right? So I can actually adjust this up and down if I wanted to, just by loosening off this lower line and letting everything come up, right? And that'll let the yard go down, which is what they're supposed to do in real life. As you come into port or something, they will drop these yards down, they'll furl up their sails, drop everything down. By rights, I don't think there's anything in this kit that shows it, but by rights, these two upper masts, right? This one should be actually movable, right? There should be pulleys somewhere and another line that when you come into port or even in high wind sailing, you can actually drop this whole mast down so that you're mainly running with your main sails, right? So this will actually drop down, right? I'm assuming that probably this top one could probably do the same thing. So this one would drop down and then this one would drop down. And again, for all the rest of the masts, right? So anyways, there's this one here. Now this one at the very top here, your topsail, right? Same thing. There's a 1mm hole right here. Ties off on your yard, comes through, comes down to another block right here. And it's basically the exact same thing, right? So it ties off, I've got a block here. Then you got a secondary block down here, right? So if I pull on this a little bit, you can see that all these lines will tighten up, you know, and we're good to go. But anyways, so that ties off. There's a block here, it goes up through this block, it comes back down, and again, I've got it tied off on the railing right here. Now, this lower block, once again, you tie it above the block, come down through your railing pulley on the other side, not this side. This one's for your middle, or at least that's where I put it, because it doesn't indicate on the plans which side. It shows a side view, and it just shows coming to this block. Now, obviously, you can't have two different yards on the same block because it's only got one hole. So I went one to one side. You can choose which side you want, but I went one to one side, and then the next yard to the other side. So again, same thing, ties here, comes down through the block, back up through that block, and then again down to the belay pin, right? So you have one belay pin here for one yard, and then you have a belay pin on this side for the other yard, and then these two here, right, on either corner is where I put them for now, and that controls your lower yard, right? But again, all your yards are on the front side so that when your sail is deployed, it's billowed out on this side, right? And because you don't want it on this side, because when you deploy your sail, well, then you're up against the mast, because your sail would be on this side, right? You don't want that. That would be chafing your sail and causing a problem. You'd be wearing through the sail in a heartbeat, right? So that's where all of that is. Again, it's all painted. Everything's all done all the way up to the top. Again, sorry for the lighting and everything here, but it's getting pretty difficult to film this thing. So that's where I'm at. So again, now I'm working on the main mast, right, which is going to be here, and yeah, it goes straight down. Now I did find that when I put the mast in at first, it was making the mast lean way back, right? So I had to modify very carefully the lower deck mast step hole, right? I reamed it out a little bit towards the aft of the ship to allow the mast to go from an angle to more straight up, right? So of course that changed it on the bottom, so I'll have to clean up at the bottom, down underneath, because you can see the mast step and everything through the side hole. I'll cap it so it looks a little nicer and neater. Now I don't know about this rear one, you know, the mizzen mast. I don't know how that one's going to line up yet. So we may end up having to do the same thing here. Now, if that's the case, and you've got your lighting kit, make sure that if you have to ream or you're going to ream out your holes, that there are no wires in the way when you do so. Okay, now that's going to be a problem for me because I've already got this glued on. And again, remember way back when I mentioned I wasn't sure if I should glue this on until the ship was pretty much done. Well, that's kind of where this now comes in, right? So I'm going to have to carefully use a drill or something, find the right size of drill bit, try to ream it out a little bit, maybe use a rat tail file or something and do it manually, slowly. I'll try to make sure that there's no wires in the way. Use a flashlight, look in there, maybe even turn the lights on to see where it shines light in there, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at, and that's where we're going to leave this off for now. So in the next video, we're going to continue on building the main mast and the yards and the upper portions of the mast, right? We'll get that one stained, painted, rigged, and I'll end up doing the exact same thing as this stuff over here, right? Because I don't want my yards glued down. So we'll end up doing the same pre-rigging over here, getting that all done. So, hey, you know, if you're liking what's going on, make sure you hit that like button for me. Definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on anything. If you want to help out the channel in any way, you can hit the PayPal me link, you can hit the join button. You also can check out my merch store. I have hats, hoodies, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff there. If there's any types of designs or patterns that you'd like to see for a shirt, let me know in the comments down below. Please leave your comments and thoughts down below because I love reading them all and I do my best to get back to each and every one of you. If you have any suggestions or ideas, you know, maybe you've built this or similar ships and you know more so of where some of these lines should go, let me know. I want to learn. And it takes the knowledge of everybody to learn something, right? So, with all that being said, no matter what you're building, just have fun, build it your way, and until next time, later.